Hello everyone. In this video, we will be looking at this article by Dr. Feng Ke, which is around the design aspects of integrating purposeful learning in digital games. This review is only around digital games and not physical games, sports, or board games. So let's dive in. So this study reviewed 69 articles around design and development of digital games. It did not look at articles around domain generic learning like computational or systems thinking, but at domain specific learning. For example, if a game is trying to teach mathematics, science, or language. At the same time, we must remember that these are not always mutually exclusive categories. There can be some overlap. For example, a game that is trying to teach some math concepts might also be inculcating some problem solving or critical thinking skills. But this paper was limited to research around domain specific games only. And what it does is, after this whole review, it identifies five themes which aim to clarify four aspects around integration of learning in games, answering four questions in terms of what it is trying to teach, how it is trying to teach that, and where and when are those things happening through a game. So let's begin with some key ideas around the field of gaming and learning. Researchers also argue that gameplay by itself is a process of learning, because when a player is playing a game, even if it is not an educational or learning game, they are required to learn about the rules, strategy to improve and make progress. So there is some learning that is happening. Some researchers, for example, Dr. Jan Glass, have gone as far as calling games as the holy grail of pedagogy. And in his article titled Good Games as Learning Machines, Dr. G also identified 16 game principles which are highly conducive for learning. For example, games being learner centric, providing real time feedback, being. Now, you might think that since learning is happening in all games, why don't we call all games as learning games? Well, when talking about learning games, we will be referring to games which target acquisition of knowledge that is generally useful or useful within an academic context. And then when we talk about game mechanics and narrative, we will be referring to the rules, actions, the setting, the plot, and the characters, all of them together. Now, the challenge in the field of games and learning is, as you can see, the idea to integrate learning into the game without violating or corrupting what is fundamentally enjoyable about games. So keeping in the fun, but also having some meaningful learning imparted through the game. In the coming up slides, we will be looking at examples of different games cited in the paper as well, but also from outside. Before getting into the design themes identified by this review, which is the core idea behind this paper, let's just quickly go through the genre of games identified by K. There is a useful table in the article that lists these genres, but here we'll be looking at some examples that fit into each of the genre. So beginning with casual puzzle games, one example could be the game of Tangram, which is a puzzle requiring logic to solve. And as we will see later, a digital game around Tangram was also used to build some mathematical learning among students. The action genre, there is this game called This War of Mine, which fits into this category of requiring quick thinking from the player. And in this game, the player is in the middle of a war situation and they have to make quick decisions which determine their survival and success and moving the ability to move forward in the game. Adventure games are those which have a long-term object and involve constant exploration, item collection, solving a lot of puzzles. One good example could be this game Slice Fractions, which presents a lot of puzzles to the player and as they learn new concepts and new principles around fractions. Talking about strategy, a really good example is this commercial game Civilization, which is used a lot of times in educational settings. And the objective of the game is to spread a civilization and maintain resources, and it involves a lot of planning and acquiring new pieces of land, distributing resources that are available to the population. Role playing games involve interaction with characters, collecting information. One good example could be the Kerbal Space Program, where learners are managing this space station and they play different roles of an engineer, of a manager, of an administrator. They collect a lot of information about the space rocket, the kind of space rocket that they want to build, and then they make the design decisions. They make decisions based on science and their objectives. So simulation games generally simulate a real world phenomena, and the players interact with different objects. One example could be this game called Universe Sandbox, which simulates the interaction and the dynamics between extraterrestrial objects like planets, moons, and galaxies. Players can replicate and simulate an existing galaxy, for example, the Milky Way, or they can construct new galaxies to study the role of orbits, gravity, and how the objects interact among themselves. And finally, the construction genre is where players design and build new things. A very famous example of this is the super successful game Minecraft, which gives the ability to the player to create new things, design and build buildings, build real life objects, or express their creativity in other. So this was it. This was the overview of the different genres of learning games as listed in the article. Here is the criteria that the researcher used to filter the articles. As discussed previously, they included articles that describe the design and development of digital games for purposeful and domain-specific learning, and not only just evaluating the effectiveness of using a game. And they looked at articles from the time period of 2000 to 2014 and the articles that were in English. Also, it should be noted that this categorization, the identification of 5 themes, is not able to be prescriptive or exhaustive. And as we discuss them, you'll be able to see that there is a lot there, that there can be a lot of overlap in terms of one games fitting into different themes. As far as the methods are concerned, the articles that the study identified and filtered, they were coded using a matrix based on methods, targeted learning, game genres used, game design features, implementation setting, and key findings. Now, getting into the themes, the first theme that they identified was based on if the game was targeting knowledge activation, as in previous knowledge was being activated through the game, or was it trying to deliver new knowledge? If the game was trying to activate prior knowledge through investigative inquiry, problem solving, exploration of background object to be able to progress in the game, or via background content or other objects, or if the game was trying to deliver new knowledge. And the article, in fact, identifies that there were very few studies that were trying to inculcate new knowledge, where novel knowledge acquisition was the primary goal. An example of a game where prior knowledge is activated could be this game Electra, where learners solved puzzles by retrieving conceptual knowledge of light refractions. This was through hyperlinked textbooks and in-game pedagogical agent, and the researchers identified that this kind of learning game had positive impacts on retention and comprehension. An example of a game which was trying to inculcate new knowledge was this game called Super Tangram, where students are learning new geometrical concepts like angle of reflection, the line of reflection by solving tangram puzzles. So this was something that students were learning new and was not a part of their previous knowledge. Moving on, the second theme identified was around the integration of learning through representation, simulation, and contextualization. These were examples where there was an intrinsic integration between learning and gameplay, and there was an interplay of learning and game elements. So the learning component was not provided externally through textbooks or videos, but in fact the learning component was integrated through game elements. Looking at conceptual representation, here is an example of this game called Refraction, where the concepts of a unit fraction, of fractions, and their relationships were represented as interplay between different game objects. As you can see, there's a distribution of a light beam into 3 different parts representing fractions. An example of representing learning component through simulation is this very famous game called Folded, where 3D jigsaw puzzles actually represent protein structure, uh, simulating the molecular representation of these proteins. So this was an example. And finally, an example of learning representation through the whole context and contextualization is this example of the game Alien Rescue 3, where the whole setting, the whole context is situated in a space science lab, and the characters are scientists and the setting of a research lab, the replication of actions as in a real lab with the whole backstory add to the fantasy of scientific inquiry. And in fact, the researchers identified that through this kind of a representation, the scientific knowledge of sixth graders actually improved, and learning about aliens was something that was deemed the most fun element by the participants. This kind of a setting is something which is also present in the game Kerbal Space Program that we previously talked about, where players are managing this science lab and they're supposed to go on space exploration missions. They're supposed to manage astronauts, build rockets, build probes. So that is another example of a good game which represents learning through contextualization. Moving on to the third theme, where learning spaces are contrived by game mechanics and the game world. This is somewhat the game world aspect is a little bit similar to the whole contextualization aspect. Uh, this is where the learning actions that the players take are actually the actions that are most fun to. The first one is where the learning actions are mapped onto the game mechanic and the learning elements are parts of the game itself, or the learning space is situated in the game world, which provides a cognitive framework and motivation for problem solving. This is also referred in the learning mechanic game mechanic framework, where the learning actions are actually mapped onto the game mechanics or the game actions. So let us look at examples of games which deliver this kind of learning. So the example discussed is of this game Zombie Division, where students are supposed to defeat zombies, which represent numbers, by choosing the right swords, by choosing the right armory, where the right armory is supposed to be the tools that are actually the devisers of those numbers. The researchers also identified that students learned more through this kind of a game and spent more time on a game where learning actions were mapped onto game mechanics versus a game in which the math component was presented as external questions or external quizzes than actually representing the math component through the game elements. An example of a game where learning space was actually situated in the narrative was this game titled CSI The Experience, where a TV show was used as a backdrop and the player would take on the role of a science investigator, and content knowledge was presented via graphics, animations, and simulation of a lab equipment. The core game action was to interact with these elements. The researchers here identified that, again, this kind of a setting had positive impacts on scientific knowledge of the players and even motivation to pursue a career in science. Before moving ahead, I would also like to point out that the article suggests that to be able to best promote the development of models, it is recommended to integrate learning through game mechanics as well as game narrative. So using both of these approaches might possibly be the best option to move forward. Moving on to the next theme, which is around meta, reflective, and iterative learning moments during gameplay. The article does not discuss examples of these games, but only talks about design theories put forward by other researchers to integrate this kind of learning. So the two sub-themes discussed under this theme were the reflection aspect of a game and through a game-based learning environment, and the iterative occurrence of learning moments through gameplay, where the learner or a player gets into the state of flow. So the first sub-theme, which is around awareness and meta-reflection, again coming back to the example of Kerbal Space Program, which might help us understand this sub-theme. In the game, players might begin by making decisions without actually thinking, making rockets and making probes without actually thinking about the implications. But as they play, they might then start consciously using a strategy which helps them go on more successful space missions in the game. And as they move forward, and as the game asks them to explore different kind of planets, different kind of extraterrestrial objects, they might start organizing their thinking and selecting different strategies for different situations, and then reflect on what went wrong, what went right, to improve upon the design of their space rockets. So this is a game which can be argued to discuss awareness and reflection through gameplay. And the next example around iterative occurrence of learning moments during play could be the game Universe Sandbox, where the players can create new galaxies, and this is a co-authoring tool and a modding tool which the game provides. The game also provides an optimal level of challenge by ever so slightly increasing the difficulty as players run these simulations. And then there is relatedness, as players can collaborate through wikis, through online communities around this game, which is a part of the whole experience. Finally, the fifth theme identified by the study is where in-game learning support is provided, which can be represented in the game world through game actions, through external pedagogical agents, and which can also be framed through game rules. This theme is basically around scaffolding features and agents that are there in a game. Looking at the examples discussed under this theme, the first one is this game Crystal Island, where learning support is provided through in-game photojournals, in-game messages, and there are pedagogical agents as well that players can interact with. Then an example of a game where learning is supported through game actions was this very interesting game where the whole objective of the player is to teach an agent, and that is the game action that the player is performing, that they want to teach this agent, and to be able to teach this agent, they have to articulate and reflect on the content, hence learning the content themselves as well. And the final example here is this game Refraction, which we discussed previously as well. The game provides adapted feedback, and there is an incentive structure built into the game for using a specific strategy. If the players are playing the game in a certain way, they get more points as compared to playing it in a way which might not be the most suitable or the most appropriate, but takes them through. So this was the core idea of identifying 5 themes to answer the 4 Ws of integrating learning in a game-based environment. Finally, the article also identifies that, in fact, only 8 of the 69 studies that they reviewed actually purposefully examined the design heuristics. And it encourages future researchers to look into these design principles, to provide description of their experiences, elaborating on theories, design strategies, and rationale for choosing particular game mechanics. It also identifies that the field of learning game research is short of empirical evidence as well as theoretical investigations, and basically the overall consensus on effectiveness of learning games is inconclusive. This was it. Thank you.